going on? Thanks so much for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we are looking at your energy for the week. So welcome. Yay to Leo energy. Whoop, whoop. So what do we have to report this week? Okay, so we're having a full moon, new moon solar eclipse on the 20th, and then we move into Mercury retrograde on the 21st. So it's going to be a fun week. The new moon, so solar eclipse deals with a lot of external change. Things are coming to head in our environment. Some of the things we might not like, might be a little bit difficult to navigate around. The new moon is square to Pluto and to the vertex point, which speaks to that. So just be mindful, it's like not letting our ego, our pride get in the way, regardless of how things manifest. The cool thing about the new moon is it's our second new moon of Aries. So I'm looking at it as this opportunity to kind of reset our intentions. Aries is all about ourself, who we are, how we show up in our world, the life we want to live, etc. And so I look at the second new moon as an opportunity to really kind of reset the stage for ourselves, looking at things that haven't been working, right? Ooh, the wildling. This is such a fun card because it really does kind of speak to our more wild nature, right? That part of us that has a really hard time being conformed, to society, rules, beliefs, etc. And so that a part of you might be really kind of ignited this week for you, Leo. Especially as we're watching things changing in our environment. It's hard not, we can behave all we want, dot our I's, cross our T's, blah, blah, blah. But when things in life keep kind of chipping away, keep happening, challenging stuff, negative stuff, at some point we just want to be wild and break free, right? And I feel that it's that dichotomy of the pendulum, right? Back and forth motion, finding a way to find balance, even in the midst of the chaos, making sure you're not going too far one way. We want to honor that part of ourselves, honor that nature, but we also want to make sure that we're not harming others or ourselves in the process. And so part of that really means to connect to our heart. What is this message communicating? Why do you feel like going, to the, 10th degree, or 0 to 60 is maybe a good way to say it. The analogy I have in my head, I don't think is appropriate for YouTube, so I'll put it on the side. But, I think that when we want to kind of break free, when we have this element of just, really freeing ourselves, it's giving us that opportunity to dream. I think actually I posted something on the Instagram this past weekend around that, really releasing, letting go. When we let go of those negative entanglements, those challenges that surround us, it does give us an opportunity for, fresh start, but also kind of dreaming up of what we really want our life to look like. Maybe something distracted you from that. Maybe something told you couldn't have those things. And whatever has been happening has been showing you, that you can. And you need to get creative, but it does take some humbling, in the process. That's the nature of life, the nature of the beast. Or if you have been, really kind of watching yourself and blah, 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 there might be that part of you, like I said, that wildling, really connecting with our wild nature. It is more primitive. It's more, kind of, it can also represent our ego though, right? Like in its other form. And we need to be really mindful about our ego, especially Leo, ego is ruled by that 5th house, the sun. We like looking good, right? We like people looking at us a certain way, even if. And sometimes through the challenges, sometimes through the things, the choices that we make that might seem a little wild, out of character, can get us into a little bit of trouble, and it can make us look a certain way, right? Through the viewpoint of other people. And so now we have to get creative. We have to really find out, evaluate what is honest and authentic, what can I keep, and what needs to be let go of. There's your card, the Strength. It is going to take a lot. I hear this as big transformation. It's powering through, pushing through some of the major or more difficult challenges you've been facing. You have the strength and the capacity. You are that lion, Leo. Really connecting to that empowerment, the lower chakras, what makes you strong. You also rule the house of creativity, sensuality. There's endless potential. But sometimes we actually have to do the work in order to do it, and recognize that it does take some rebalancing of the scales, especially if we did go, dude, it's like such the best analogy too, I swear. If we did go the complete opposite direction, 0 to 60. I think you're still sitting on it for sure with that Hermit energy. You could be on the Leo Virgo cusp. Virgo really deals with our health and wellness, being grounded, being stable, and making decisions from that point of reference. And you have that confirmed with that 6 of Pentacles energy right here. Again, going back to remembering you do have the energy to make this happen. But in order to, you have to get connected with your heart. I feel like that's part of where that creative inspiration comes through for you, Leo, in this process, whatever you're dealing with. Rising from the ashes. Blue morphle, right? Such a beautiful reminder. I think that transformation is so hard, but it can be so inspiring, empowering. It's passionate. It really helps us align with our heart chakra, speaking our truth, and then going after it, even though, down below, or it's fueled off of the muck, right? The concept of the lotus flower. It needs that dirt, that muck to grow, to do the transformative work. And that's the hardest part, because that element of it creates a lot of emotional instability, fears, anxieties, the unknown. Maybe we're going against someone's opinion, someone's belief about how it should look, or even our own, the one that we had, kind of cultivated for ourselves. But something for you, Leo, is changing. You're seeing things from a different perspective. And this is less with our eyes versus our senses, like that intuitive sense. We as humans can get so sucked into the blinders, right? Like what the horses wear. Oh, healing. You're healing from that. I love that. I think it's called like paradigm blindness, right? When we get so fixated on our perspective being the right one and the only one. Unfortunately, it's not how life goes, right? And like I said, we're being forced to see this based off of, certain choices. There's that star, people, places, and things. Maybe you're dealing with someone who's kind of taking different steps forward than what you had anticipated. Some type of clarity coming through. This is a really empowering energy. So whether that's you or them, there's healing, there's empowerment. and they're doing it, or you're doing it in a systematic way. But I think also, I mean, and I'm sad to say this, Leo, but this is also making you see it and think about it in a different manner. Maybe something you missed before. Maybe because you had those blinders on, right? Because you didn't want to see it in a new way, or you didn't want things to move forward. But that's the thing, like, the one inevitable in life is change, right? Change is constant. It's the one thing that happens regardless of whether we want it to or not. And you might be digging your feet, you know, not wanting it to come through. But that's not the way to approach it, I guess is what I'm saying. So let's look at it from that perspective. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, you know. I feel like you, again, it kind of goes back to that element of getting creative. But in order to get creative, you have to tune into your heart, 11:11 on the clock. And that means kind of simplifying your life right now. Not letting the BS take over. You have too much going on, Leo, too much on your plate, too much hubbub. It's distracting you, right? From where you really need to be putting your focus, or from this situation. Maybe you, like I said, you thought it was going to work out differently, so you were banking on different results, and now it's not happening that way. And what you're seeing, it does feel a little nerve-wracking, a little bit scary, not knowing or understanding the direction that it's headed. So, yeah, but, you know, I mean, like I said, keeping things stagnant, stuck, digging your heels into the ground, it's not going to stop it from evolving. And that's what I feel like you see, but you don't specifically want to acknowledge it 100%. And I don't say that in shade. I think it's, you know, the wildling does connect to our more rebellious nature, that part of us that, you know, like I said, wants to break free. Ooh, there's the devil. Capricorn energy. Control, manipulation at play. So if we're rebelling as a mode of control, be mindful about that. Maybe you're staying stubborn. Earth energy is incredibly rigid, incredibly stubborn. You know, if you put your mind to something, it's going to happen that way. And, you know, so we have Capricorn and Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Waiting on something, you know, you're just like, it's, you know, it's almost like a battle of like, who can wait it out the longest, is what I'm hearing. There's a lot of mirroring going on in this connection. Maybe you both are trying to push it away. Maybe you don't want to acknowledge. You don't want to be honest. But like I said, just because like we don't admit things to ourselves or to the other person or have a conversation or be vulnerable, like fine, right? But it doesn't make it untrue. Awaken just popped out. Cards never lie, guys, right? You know, it doesn't make it not true. And sometimes we do just have to, it does take strength to be honest, to be vulnerable. But you have it. You got it. Be fearless. I love that, Leo. Be fearless. Embrace what your heart wants, but you have to know what your heart wants in order to embrace it. Recognizing where your emotions are getting the best of you, of the situation, preventing it from working in fluid harmony. There is potential, there is possibility, you know, for it to be working synergistically together, but it takes the understanding, you know, being more thankful, being more appreciative, more grounded and balanced, not only of our own selves, but also of everyone involved. We're all doing our best. Not criticizing. I know that's all like easier said than done, right? But I think it's like there is potential in whatever this is for you, Leo. It's something that you want, something that you don't want to let go of. It's not specifically unfolding how you expected it to, you know, but that's where you got to get creative. And maybe recognize where like things get thrown out of whack, right? Because of this emotional imbalance, the fear, the uncertainty, the overwhelmment. Emotions can be a tricky thing, you know, especially if we feel the feels on a deep level. The best thing we can do for ourselves is find ways to ground, to balance, to have stability. Just like this says, that comes from self-love, self-care, right? Having a good routine, getting enough rest, taking care of our body, mind, and soul, right? Which I know you can do, Leo. I'm sending all the love and blessings to whatever you're navigating through. Thank you so much for your time and energy. I really appreciate it. I'm here for whatever support you need. Big thumbs up if it resonated. Drop comments below. Let's build and grow the community. Thank you so much for all your support to the channel, guys. Have a great week.